Today, we are talking about an interesting subject. I was at a meeting, went to the bar downstairs at the hotel, had a conversation with a gentleman, and it got pretty interesting. He was asking me what I did. I was asking him what he did. And then we got off on this tangent on a subject that started with a question from the bartender. She asked us if we were friends. And I said, no, we're just acquaintances. He is an educator, and he looked at me and he goes, well, do you know what the difference between a friend and an acquaintance is? And how we look at all of the people in our lives as friends, but when there's certain people actually that are just acquaintances. We're going to talk about that today on the Productive Not Busy podcast.
You're listening to the Productive Not Busy podcast, where we show you how to do life and business confident, focused, and with a plan so that you can make more money, have more free time, and less stress. Your host, Wayne Withersby, will uncover actionable hacks, strategies, tips, and insights you can use today to live a better, more productive life. It's time to boost your mindset, confidence, and your attitude. Here's your host, Coach Wayne.
All right. So in our lives, relationships, right? They form these weird, intricate threads that kind of weave all of our experiences together. Okay. So from the casual acquaintances we encounter in passing to the cherished people in our life, right? We nurture over the years these friendships, and each connection adds depth and color to everybody's existence. Yet, I want to talk about this ebb and flow of life. It's essential to recognize the transient nature of these relationships. Understanding the acquaintances may forget about you or move on when your paths diverge. You got to understand that it's a crucial step in embracing life fully and prioritizing meaningful connections, right? The nature of acquaintanceship is what he said, which I thought was an interesting word. Acquaintanceships are these very fleeting moments in time. These connections often arise from shared circumstances, such as maybe, somebody that you went to school with or working in the same industry, but lack the depth and intimacy of a true friendship. I'm not saying you can't enjoy these, and they can be enjoyable and enriching. It's important not to invest a disproportionate amount of emotional energy into these relationships, though. Acquaintances may come and go. Their presence in our lives are subject to the ever-shifting current of time and circumstances. So when confronted with the reality that an acquaintance may forget about you, or once your paths kind of cross and diverge, or we no longer serve a specific purpose in their lives, it's natural to feel a twinge of sadness or disappointment. But dwelling on these feelings only serves to detract from the richness of our present experience. So instead, we must, we kind of embrace this impermanence, I guess is what you call it, as an inherent aspect of life, and focus our energy on cultivating connections that bring us joy and fulfillment. Got to live life to the fullest, man. It's short. I just lost a really good friend of mine, 57 years old. Embracing the transient nature of relationships does not mean reining ourselves to a life of isolation and detachment. I'm actually talking about the opposite. It provides us with this freedom to fully immerse ourselves into the present moment and savor the richness of each interaction, knowing that it may be fleeting. So by adopting that mindset, we can liberate ourselves from the fear of abandonment or rejection, or embrace life with open arms. Got to make time for meaningful connections. Acquaintances may come and go. And true friendships are built on a foundation of mutual respect, mutual trust, and shared experiences. These connections withstand the test of time. Absolutely. Remaining even in the face of adversity or distance. In a world where time is a precious commodity, it's essential to prioritize those who make time for us and invest in relationships that bring us joy and fulfillment. There's a couple of strategies that he actually wrote out on a napkin. It says practical strategies for nurturing meaningful connections. One is cultivate authenticity. Be genuine in your interactions with others, allowing your true self to shine through. Authenticity fosters trust and deepness in these connections, and it lays the groundwork for a meaningful relationship to flourish for the long term. Practice active listening. Show genuine interest in others by actively listening to their thoughts and feelings and experiences. By offering a listening ear and validating their perspective, you demonstrate that, what your value and their presence in your life is. Make time for quality interactions in a world dominated by busy schedules. I hear that all the time. Dude, I'm busy. And competing other priorities, right? Carve out some dedicated time to spend with people that you love, people that are your friends. We tend to carve out time for acquaintances, but we don't carve out time for friends. Whether it's this leisurely little walk or a coffee date or a weekend getaway, prioritize quality interactions that nourish your life and your relationships. And embrace vulnerability. True intimacy requires vulnerability. The willingness to open yourself up to other people and share your innermost thoughts and feelings. Do you have that friend? Think about it. By embracing vulnerability, you create space for deeper connections. That's all I'm saying. It's a pretty enlightening meeting that we had. Probably never talk to the man again. We'll never see him again, but he made an impact. So I'm just going to leave it at this in this world that we're in right now, which is just crazy. It's characterized by a constant change and flux and attitudes. Relationships are weird right now. Relationships serve as like this anchor that ground us in this present moment. And while acquaintances may come and go, and people may forget about you or me or us, once our paths kind of just diverge, the connections we nurture with the people that we truly build friendships with will endure. I've got friends I haven't seen in 25 years that we talk on the phone, and it's like we've never been apart. So by embracing impermanence and prioritizing meaningful connections, we can live life to the fullest and find fulfillment in this richness of human experience called friendship. Just be careful. Don't put so much effort into acquaintances, thinking that they're your friends. So let us cherish the relationships that bring us joy. Make time for those who make time for us, and navigate the ever-changing landscape of life with grace and resilience. Set a good example. I love you guys. Be safe. Take care. Sell a bunch. Find somebody and say something nice.
You've been listening to the Productive, Not Busy podcast. Please hit the subscribe and notification of new episodes button and visit us on social media like Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok for bonus content.